Hello, everyone, and welcome again, my friends, to this beautiful challenge on magnetic confidence, a challenge exclusively for women. And today on day 3, we will be discussing about the self-confidence wheel. Guys, you already know the drill. While everyone is connecting, please let me and Rolene know in the chat where you're connecting from and also which part of the world you're in. I'm more than happy to read the chat on the right side of the screen. New Jersey, Canada, Colorado, Kenya, Iran, so much variety here, and mostly women, I guess, which is making this beautiful space even more beautiful. California, India, Trinidad, USA, London, beautiful, guys. So again, a quick logistics side before we jump deeper into the session. You're going to be training with Rolene, so this experience is deeply transformational and also exciting. So be prepared to take notes and share them with the world and also in the Facebook group. Number 2, dedicate time and focus and playful out. Don't come here 50% as usual, because during this day spent together, we're learning and transforming ourselves in the best way possible. Number 3, show up, take part, and stand the chance to win one of the Mindvalley's premier certification programs or memberships. And for this, you have to be active in the Facebook group, do your homework, inspire and impact as many people as you can. And actually today, surprise, it's the first day of the giveaway, so I can't wait to announce the first winner at the end of this session. Today is about the self-confidence wheel. On your 3rd day, you will create your personal self-confidence wheel, which is an eye-opening framework that instantly reveals where to best start your journey towards confidence, the scenarios and types of confidence you'll want to focus on most and develop, and how to best measure your progress so you're growing more confident even day by day. If you're low in self-confidence, is it possible to do things that will change that? Confidence sometimes can be a tough thing to build up, but that is why we're having the right person with us that is here to teach you the most amazing ways to build it up. And for this, let's give a warm welcome on stage to Miss World 2014, Rolene Strauss, to guide you on this beautiful journey. Rolene, welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Bianca. You look beautiful with your hair up today. It's gorgeous.
We were just discussing this yesterday, right?
Yes. Hi, everyone. A very warm welcome to our 3rd day of our 5 Days to Magnetic Confidence Challenge. And I truly hope that you have been finding this challenge valuable so far. And I'm super excited about going deeper and further into helping you and assisting you to develop sustainable and magnetic confidence. I once again know that your time is very precious, and I don't take it lightly that you decided to spend some of your time with me today and actually during this week. And I'll do everything in my power to make this well worth your while. So just a quick recap on our previous 2 days. We have all discussed and realized and discovered all over again that self-confidence is a skill that you can develop, and it's a special skill in the sense that it magnifies your already existing skills, talents, and potential. And in order for you to develop your confidence in a sustainable way, a rock-solid foundation is essential. And yesterday we deep dived into how to make sure that your foundation is rock solid, first of all, and using your soul print and your core values as a foundation in a very authentic way, specifically in a world where we are forced and sometimes dragged into being someone that we are not really from the inside out. So that was a quick recap. Today is very exciting, first of all, because we are going to have an exciting giveaway at the end of the session. So be sure to stay tuned, and I'm crossing my fingers and my thumbs for the one who really needs it to win this competition. So you have all of these background information now on self-confidence, and you've already started to transform in knowing yourself better and gaining a better self-awareness. But now you're ready to start. You're ready to get the ball rolling on developing the self-confidence. But where do you start? Is that perhaps a question that you have? Where do I actually start? I'm super motivated. I'm so excited. I have this fire burning inside of me. But where do I start? So by the end of our session today, you are going to, first of all, discover the different types of self-confidence, because sometimes you experience a situation or a circumstance where you have a lot of self-confidence. And the next day, you experience a situation or a circumstance where you feel a lack of confidence. So why is this? Why is this happening? Why does this happen? Today, we're going to discover that. And we are also going to make sure that we try to increase the instances where you feel that surge of confidence as opposed to those where you don't. The second thing that we're going to focus on and that you will discover in today's session is where do you actually start your self-confidence development journey? Because there are so many places you can start. Where do you start? How do you choose where you want to start in order for you to gain the maximum results and the optimum results in the minimum amount of time? How does that sound for you? Let me know. I see a lot of people joining in from all across the world, and everyone's saying, wonderful, great, this sounds good to me. Okay, so I am really grateful once again to have you here, and I'm going to jump right into our content for the day. Do you also find that in some circumstances or instances, you feel very confident in yourself, in your abilities, in your basically in who you are and what you can do. But then a few seconds or minutes later, you find yourself doubting your abilities and who you are and whether you're good enough. So it might seem very weird that these things are happening, but there is a reason behind this. And I'm going to share a bit of my personal story just to bring across a very important subject for today, and that is the different types of self-confidence. So I'm going to share my screen. Bianca, if you can just make me a co-host to share my screen. And while Bianca is doing that, let me know in which instances are you confident in yourself, and in which instances aren't you confident in yourself? I see Jameni is saying, yes, it's so crazy. Mimi says she's confident when she doesn't have to talk, but then when she has to talk, she's not that confident. I see Margaret saying confident at work, but not confident in my personal life. Okay, I see I can share my screen now. I hope you can see it. Okay.
Yes, we do. I confirm.
Thank you very much. So I briefly went over a little bit about my story on day one, but I just want to recap a very specific part to help explain this concept that I want to bring across today, if you would allow me to do that. So the most difficult year of my life probably was in 2017. So what happened in 2017 was that I just handed over my crown a year ago, my Miss World crown. I had to pause my medical studies for me to become Miss South Africa and fulfill my duties as Miss South Africa and Miss World. And I just handed over my crown in 2016. And just a while ago, after that, I got married to the man of my dreams in February 2016. And it was just a few days after my wedding that I had to go back to my medical degree because I still had 2 years left to finish my studies. So I was newlywed, very excited about life. We had a long distance relationship for about 6 years. And we had a long distance marriage for the first 2 years. because I was studying in Bloemfontein in central South Africa, and my husband was working, starting his own business in Stellenbosch, close to the coastline. So we had this long distance relationship. I had to finish my medical degree, go back into studying, which was really difficult for me because, first of all, I was not in the same year group as I was when I stopped my studies. People didn't know me for who I was before, but they only knew that I was Miss World, and I felt like there was very high expectations on me at that stage. But nonetheless, I continued with my studies and really enjoyed it. And all of a sudden, just a few months after going back to studying, we found out that we were pregnant, well, that I was pregnant. And this was such a curveball because the plan was to finish my medical studies, to go and do my internship and community service and, spend some time together, as we've had this long distance relationship for such a long time, just spend some time together before starting our family. But it was a month after we got married, we fell pregnant. I found out when I was almost 5 months pregnant already. And there I was, highly pregnant, finishing my medical degree. And still remembering going through this phase of really, really being guilty and feeling guilty for what was about to happen to me and what was happening to me. Breastfeeding, raising my son with my husband, almost 10,000 kilometers away, and having to study, not spending enough time on studying, not spending enough time with my husband, with my son, and just feeling that there should be more to life than constantly feeling guilty. And during this time, the only thing that kept me sane was exercising. So I was literally exercising in the mornings. Every morning I would get up at 5:30. I didn't always take my son with, but when he was awake, I did get up at 4:30, went to the gym at 5, and I just kept pushing and pushing. That was my exercise. That was my therapy for that year, coping with everything that was happening. I just kept on exercising, never stopping. So when it came to my physical health, it was just a few months after the birth of our son, and I was in the best shape of my life. And this sounds very familiar to yesterday's conversation, where I was in the best shape of my life. And when it came to my health and my fitness, I was so confident. I was extremely confident. But overall, mentally and emotionally, I was at an all-time low when it came to my confidence because I felt guilty all the time. My aspirations and my life dreams changed when my son was born. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was broke because all of the money that I won and gathered as a result of Miss South Africa and Miss World, I had to pay towards taxes, and I paid for my medical studies. And as a result of my medical studies, I wasn't able to even work to get an income. And here I was, obviously my husband was supporting me, but I was used to being independent financially as well. So here I was at an all-time low generally, even though I was in the best shape of my life. So do you also feel like in some instances, in some areas of your life, you feel extremely confident? And then you feel like there must be something wrong with you when you don't feel confident in other areas of your life. And that is because we get two types of self-confidence. And this is where I want you to take out your notepad and get ready for some amazing stuff. So we get two types of self-confidence. In some areas of your life, you are extremely confident. I see some people say that's exactly how I feel. I danced a lot in my 20s. I was amazingly in shape and felt so confident in my body, and it still did not feel confident in my body. So we get specific self-confidence. That is the first type of self-confidence. In specific areas of your life, you feel confident, perhaps in your body, perhaps at work, perhaps in a relationship. But then the second type of self-confidence is general self-confidence. So general self-confidence is almost like the mean of all of the specific self-confidence that you have in your life. And there's a very interesting relationship between general and specific self-confidence. Specific self-confidence, if that is increased, it is increased in a specific area of your life. But it also impacts your general self-confidence and increases your general self-confidence. When you have an increased general self-confidence, your overall feeling and belief in who you are, in your own worth, it enables you to easier or to enhance a specific self-confidence much easier. So these two have a very complementary relationship with one another. If there are more areas in your life, specific areas that you have a lack of confidence in, your general self-confidence will also lower. Does this make sense to you? I see Francia says, well, 100% agree. I was so, now the comments came in. I was so successful in my studies and at my lowest level of my relationship. So a very high on the one end and a very low on the other hand. So what we are going to do now is we are going to complete your self-confidence wheel. And I designed the self-confidence wheel for you to be able to just realize where you are when it comes to your different specific self-confidences. Are you ready to complete your own self-confidence wheel to gain clarity and objective view about your different specific self-confidences, but also use that as a tool to decide where to start? Because there are so many different ways we can start, and it feels like a very unrealistic goal to just overall increase your self-confidence. But when we can break it up in different steps and in a practical way, starting with one area of your life specifically, it just becomes more bite-sized. So I see everyone is excited to complete their self-confidence wheel. So I hope you have your notepad ready, because I'm going to take you through the self-confidence wheel now. First of all, there are 8 major life areas. And yes, you can add a few, perhaps some of them are not valid in your life at the moment, but these are the 8 main areas where you might feel a lack of confidence in or a great confidence in. The first area is your body. And when I talk about your body, this is just, I actually have my book here with me just to make sure that I guide you through this in the most effective way possible. But when we talk about your body, it's about your health, your wellness, your fitness, how healthy you feel, how much energy you have, how happy you are with what you look like at the moment. So this encompasses everything about your body, your physical wellness, and well-being. The second area of your life is your mind and emotions. This is a very important life area, and this is where we focus on what do you feel about yourself? What are your beliefs and your psychology? Do you feel like you are worthy? Do you feel like your mind and your emotions assist you to reach your full potential, or are these perhaps holding you back? The third life area is relationships. So these are relationships with family, relationships with friends, relationships with loved ones, perhaps working relationships. So all different relationships. Are these healthy? Are these beneficial to you? Do you gain something from the relationship? Do you feel fulfilled in your relationships? Or do you feel like there are certain toxic relationships playing a big role in your confidence at the moment? The fourth area is your personal growth. And when it comes to your personal growth, are you broadening your horizons? Are you enhancing your skill set? Are you growing as a person physically, mentally, just overall growing? Or are you stagnating? Are you perhaps so busy in your everyday life that you can't focus on growing as a person? The fifth source, or the fifth area of your life, is social and recreational or fun. Do you make time to just be? Do you make time to have fun, to be adventurous? Is this perhaps aiding in your self-confidence, or is a lack of time and time management perhaps stealing this from you? The sixth area of your life that we're going to focus on is business or career. Are you feeling fulfilled in your business, in your career? Are you perhaps longing for something else, something bigger, where you can truly live out your soul print and live out your values? The seventh life area is money or finances. Are you constantly anxious when it comes to your finances? Are you confident in your own abilities to manage your finances? Are you financially savvy? Is this aiding your confidence or perhaps stealing from your confidence? And the last life area is spirituality. How are you feeling about your relationship with God or your spirituality as a whole? Are you anxious? Are you feeling alone, or are you feel like there's someone? Are you feeling like there is someone bigger in control? And these are the 8 life areas that we are going to focus on. So what I want you to do now is to draw this circle on your notepad in front of you. Literally draw this circle, number it 1 to 8, and I'm going to read a few things when it comes to every life area, and you're going to rate yourself at this moment in your life on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being the least amount of confidence and 10 being the most amount of confidence. How are you feeling about this specific area of your life? So we're going to start with body. How are you feeling with your body? And as you do this, literally use the little circle and just draw a line between 1 and 10 to make sure that you are rating yourself in this way. And you are also more than welcome to post in the chat box where you feel you are at the moment. So just take a breath and just focus on your body, your health, your wellness, your fitness. Do you feel like you are reaching your physical wellness goals? Do you feel like you are energized? Do you feel like you are looking after the body that God gave you? Where will you put yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Okay, next up, mind and emotions. When it comes to your mind and emotions, when it comes to your mental well-being and your mental health, understanding your emotions, and hopefully you'll be able to understand that a bit better after yesterday, but where do you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Similar to relationships. When it comes to your different relationships, and what some of my clients do is they actually divide that little piece of the relationship pie and circle and wheel into 3 parts. So they would say personal relationships, business relationships. So you're welcome to do that as well. But overall, where would you rate yourself and your relationships when it comes to your confidence? Then personal growth, are you stagnating? Are you yearning to grow more? Or are you spending a lot of time on your personal growth? And the fact that you are here today means that you are spending some time on your personal growth and that you are working at developing and making sure that you're reaching your full potential. Then social and recreational or fun, where would you rate yourself there? Business and career. And I know a lot of people, some of the chats that I've seen on the Facebook group, people are feeling stuck in what they are doing in their business or their career. And I have so many clients that after they complete their soul print awareness, they realize that, oh my goodness, what I'm doing in my career is not aligned with my soul print. And that is what's stealing my confidence in my career. And there are a few options. Some people actually decide to move to a different career or to start their own business. And some people just realize that there are a few things that they can tweak within their already existing career to make this more aligned with their soul print. But where would you rate your career? I see some people say 9, others 2, 4. Money and finances. Are you feeling comfortable with your money and finances at the moment? Or do you feel like you can perhaps improve your financial skills and your financial wisdom in a way or form? And then lastly, your spirituality. Where would you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 when it comes to your spirituality? So what you will see in front of you now is your self-confidence wheel. And this wheel will probably not be able to roll because it is not fully developed as a free wheel. Some of these sources or some of these life areas will be lower scoring than others. And this is just a way for us to measure where you are starting. First of all, when you look at your wheel, let me know, what do you see? What stands out for you? So Lisa is asking, is 1 the center and 10 the furthest? Yes, I was probably supposed to say that. So 1 in the middle is the least confident, and 10, the outer circle of the wheel, is the most confident. I see Miss Nicole is saying, I'm pretty well-rounded, except in money and finances. So Rhonda says, it stands out that I need to have more fun. Well done. So I really hope that you are able to take an objective look on your specific self-confidences. And already you can start seeing that, wow, this area and my confidence in this area, or lack thereof, is impacting my general self-confidence. So it's so good for us to know where we start. And what will happen specifically from tomorrow on, where we focus on key things, practical things that you can start implementing, is you will start focusing on an area that you scored lowest in, an area where you feel that if I focus on this area first, if I'm able to increase my confidence based on my soul print in this specific area, then it will be the most valuable for me, and it will have the biggest impact on my general self-confidence. Okay, so how did you find this exercise? Let me know. I see Katerina is saying, ooh, I lost your comment there. Does the whole wheel then represent the general self-confidence? So Katerina, you can almost see it in that way. Yes. So the whole wheel, or the mean of the wheel, could describe your general self-confidence. But tomorrow you'll realize that there are so many things impacting our general self-confidence and also specific self-confidences. But yes, you are right in sensing that the whole wheel as the entirety of all of the life areas has an impact. Some of you might even add a few more life areas. I see some of you say that this was very revealing. I'm doing better than I thought. And that's a lot of the times what happens, is we think of ourselves as not good enough to such a degree that we actually don't acknowledge the success that we've achieved so far. And the sad truth is that we can't build on success that we don't acknowledge. So even if this could help you to acknowledge how good it is actually going with you, it's already wonderful. Okay, so keep this aside, keep this, because this will be a handy tool for you to decide where we are going to start. I would like to tell you a story about a specific swimmer. And the picture that you are seeing here is a swimmer swimming the freedom swim, as it is called in South Africa. It is a 7.5 kilometer extreme open water swim from Robben Island to Bloubergstrand in Cape Town. And for those of you who are not sure what Robben Island is, Robben Island was from 1961 used by the South African government as a prison for political prisoners and convicted criminals. And Nelson Mandela, most of you will know who Nelson Mandela is, but he spent 27 years of his life in prison, and 18 of those years he spent imprisoned on Robben Island, after which he became the first Black South African president after the country's first democratic elections in 1994. And he still remains a national icon in South Africa, and I think across the world. So the Freedom Swim is held annually in South Africa to symbolize South Africa's Freedom Day and democracy on the 27th of April in 1994. But I would like to tell you a story of a very specific swimmer who swims this every year. And she is an incredible swimmer, and she has won the swimming competition, the Freedom Swimming Competition, for 5 years in a row. And every year she gives her absolute best. She values hard work and dedication, and she just gives her best to be able to swim and win this race. And this specific year was his sixth year swimming, and she was once again there to conquer the swim. And as you can see, it's a beautiful setting with Table Mountain in the background. And she was here to conquer the swim. And as I tell the story further, I want you to just keep this picture in your mind. I'm going to stop my screen share for a moment. But it was time for the competition again. And here she was ready to win the competition. But this specific day was much colder than the previous years. And it was very, very misty. She could barely see her hand in front of her when she got ready to swim. But nonetheless, she was very excited. She was very, a little bit anxious, but she desperately wanted to give her all and give her best in order to win once again. And the competition started. She jumped into the ocean. And the first thought she had was, oh my goodness, it's much colder than the previous years. And for those of you coming from South Africa, you might know how cold the ocean water is in Cape Town, and specifically in April, around April. So she jumped in. That was the first thought she had was, oh my goodness, I'm quite cold, but luckily I have all of these sponsors who gave me my wetsuit and everything. She pushed the thought aside and she just continued swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. The next moment, she realized that she had a cold about a week ago and she did not yet recover from this cold. And she's not sure whether she'll be able to perform as well as she did. And as soon as that thought entered her mind, a little girl or woman with two horns popped up on the one side of her shoulder. And this little woman told her, you know, you've won 5 years in a row. If you feel like giving up, just give up. You've already proven yourself. And as soon as she considered giving up, a little woman with a halo on top of her head popped up on the other shoulder and told her, you are here, you've worked hard, you are dedicated, you can do this. You can do this, I believe in you. And she kept on swimming and swimming and swimming. And even though she couldn't see her hand in front of her face, she just kept on swimming and swimming and swimming. And all of a sudden, the woman with the two horns popped up again and told her, you know, I don't think this is worth it. You don't feel well. I think you can just give up already. And when she considered giving up, the woman with a halo on her head came up once again and said, this is not who you are. You are not someone who easily gives up. I know this is not the ideal situation. You can't see, you are cold, you're still not recovered from your cold, but you can do this, I believe in you. And she kept on swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. And all of a sudden, the woman with the two horns popped up once again and she said, you know, you've already proven yourself. There's a boat just right next to you. When you climb onto that boat, they'll give you a nice hot chocolate. They'll cover your body with a nice warm blanket. And before she could stop herself, she put up her hand and she gave up. Just like the little girl with the horn said, she got onto the boat and she got her hot chocolate and she felt warm. And it was not even 1 minute when she got onto the boat that the boat reached Robben Island. She was so close to Robben Island, but she gave up. Why do you guys think she gave up? I see Wumbi says, oh no, oh my gosh. Lisa says she got cold. Joe almost says she couldn't see. Do you think she would have given up if she could see her destination in front of her? Do you think she would have given up if she saw how close she was to her goal? Definitely not. So what do we learn from her experience? If we don't have absolute aspirational clarity of where we want to be, it's so much easier for us to give up. So what are your goals when it comes to your self-confidence? Do you have clarity of exactly where you want to be? Do you have measurable goals in place for you to know where you are in this journey, for you to know when you reach your goal, and to have this in front of you as a motivation? So who of you believe in time traveling? Does any one of you believe in time traveling? Melinda says, I do. Okay, everyone says they do. Okay, so usually I get people who say, absolutely not. I do not believe in time traveling. There's no such thing. No. Okay. Would you like to time travel? Would you perhaps like to go back in time and change a few things? Perhaps do things that you didn't do. Perhaps use opportunities that you didn't use. Or perhaps undo something that you've done in the past. What would you guys pay for a time traveling machine? Can I have anyone telling me what they would pay for a time traveling machine? I see a few people say, not really, because I am where I am because of the past. Wonderful and beautiful. No price attached. It's priceless. Okay, so what would you say if I told you now that we are going to go time traveling together? But the difference between time traveling back in time and the time traveling that we're going to do now is, instead of going back in time a year from now, 12 months from now, we are going to time travel to the future in order to get absolute clarity of where we want to be. And we are going to use our self-confidence wheel in order to travel to the future. And once you travel to the future 12 months from now and gain clarity of exactly where you want to be, what you've achieved, what level of confidence you have, how you are making a difference in the world around you, once you have absolute clarity and actually feel like you are there in that moment, we are then going to travel back to today. Would you like to do that with me? Would you like to time travel to the future in order for you to gain clarity of where you want to go, but then to put certain steps in place? Okay, everyone says yes. So what happens a lot when we have bold and ambitious goals is, first of all, we don't have clarity of what exactly these bold and ambitious goals are. And once we have clarity, it seems so far-fetched that we just give up before we even start. Do you sometimes feel like that? That you have such big goals that you end up just giving up before you even start? So the question that I get a lot from my clients is, but should I set smaller goals? Should I not be as ambitious in my goals? No, of course not. And if I could draw this to you or for you, just give me a second. We should not lower the bar. So, excuse my drawing. Okay, so I hope you can see this. These are two women who set very ambitious goals for themselves. And these two women feel like, oh my goodness, this is way too much. This is out of my league. I can't reach there, even if I jump as high as I possibly can. So do you think they should lower the bar? What do you think would happen if they merely put steps in on their way to the big, ambitious goals? I see Ellen says, get a trampoline. Okay, so you might be able to get a trampoline, but when you have that bar, how long do you think you'll be able to hang on to it? So what we are going to do now is we're going to use this ambitious goal, and we're going to get clarity of that right now in our time traveling practice and reflection. But then what we can do after that is to put in little steps. So if you want to become a doctor, for you to become a doctor, you have to finish your medical degree. For you to finish your medical degree, you have to get accepted to study medicine. for you to get accepted to study medicine, you have to have certain grades to get accepted. For you to get accepted and have certain grades, you have to be in school. So can you see that you can literally build in small steps on your way and reverse engineer, exactly, Sophia, reverse engineer where you want to be. But before we do that, we are going to gain clarity of this amazing, amazing, big, ambitious goals when it comes to your self-confidence. And you can feel free to dream as big as you possibly can. Unlimiting amounts of potential and possibilities are now available to you. Because once we've done that, we will then make it very sustainable and practical on our way there. So, are you ready for some time traveling? Okay, so in order for us to time travel, we are going to sit back with our back supported, our necks free, and I'm going to try to speak as loud as possible for all of you to hear me, but you can gently start closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And allow yourself to be 100% present in this moment. Start from your toes and wiggle your toes, relax your toes, relax your legs, your stomach, your shoulders and your neck, and just allow yourself to be in this moment. And what we're going to do now is to time travel to the future. 12 months from now, March 2023. Where are you? And imagine this in your mind until it becomes so clear and vivid that you almost feel like you are that person 1 year, 12 months from now. Where are you? How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you confident? Are you grateful? And experience this feeling in your body at this moment. When it comes to your body, how are you feeling about your body? And remember, everything and anything is possible. How confident are you in your body? How energized are you? How healthy are you from the inside out? Your mind and emotions. Where are you when it comes to your mind and your emotions 12 months from now? Your relationships. Imagine the beautiful and fulfilling relationships that you are in. At work, in your personal life, with your life partner. And experience the sense of peace and gratitude for these beautiful relationships. Your personal growth. What are those excellent skills that you were able to magnify in the past 12 months leading up to March 2023? Are you perhaps now able to speak up in front of a crowd and empower women? Are you confident in your ability to help your clients reach their full potential? Where are you when it comes to your personal growth? Social and recreational. Are you spending time on the things that fulfill you, the things that make you happy? Are you having fun with the people that you love? Business and career. Are you fulfilled in what you are doing? What are you doing when it comes to business and career? Just take a moment and decide, what are you doing with your business and your career? And how confident are you in what you are doing? Your money and finances. How much money do you have in your bank? How much peace does that give you to know that you have the means to not only thrive, but to give back as well? Just breathe in that sense of peace. Your spirituality. Where are you with regards to your spirituality, your faith, your relationship with God? And remember, anything and everything is possible. I'm going to give you a few more moments to just paint this picture so vividly clear that you can see exactly and feel exactly where you want to be in March 2023. And just focus on your general self-confidence. How confident are you in who you are, in what you do, in the difference that you're making in the world and in those around you? Remember, everything happens twice, first in your mind and then in reality. And now this has happened in your mind. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just linger in this feeling of you in March 2023. And I'm going to count backwards from 10. And we're going to go back in time to this day, to today. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can gently open your eyes. Okay, there you have it. You now have a second chance. You have a second chance to become as confident and to become that person you want to be in March 2023. You have a second chance. Now that you have clarity on where you want to be, now the exciting part starts. What came up for you during this practice and during this exercise? I see Giovanita says, I feel so empowered. I've achieved everything I've set out by March 2023. Wonderful. That shows me that you really embraced yourself and immersed yourself into that feeling. I'm feeling free. I'm peaceful. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I have a fire inside of me. Wonderful. That's exactly what we want. So now that you have clarity on where you want to go, you have your self-confidence wheel, you know where you are now. You know the different scores that you have at this moment in time. We are now, from tomorrow onwards, going to focus on practical things that you can start doing in these different areas of your life, specifically focusing on the 4 sources of self-confidence. So if you are wondering, you now know that self-confidence is a skill, you have a solid foundation, you know where to start, you know where you are going. Now you want to know, how am I going to do that? If this is you, then tomorrow is specifically for you, because we are going to go into the how. But I also wanted to share with you a few things that has helped me to regain my confidence, and a few things that I was able to do thanks to Mindvalley, a few quests in the different life areas. So when it came to my body and my mind, Mindvalley has various different quests within their membership program to actually start working on this, to make sure that the confidence you decide to build up in whichever area of your life is sustainable, and that you actually recommit to that. But they have various different quests within Mindvalley, and the things that I'm going to share with you now are quests that I have completed myself, and that was really life-changing for me. 10X, the science behind growing muscle. This is specifically focused on your body. The longevity blueprints, certain things that are easy and small to implement, but that will impact your health significantly. Another thing that stood out for me and that I really enjoyed when it came to mental well-being was the M Word by Emily Fletcher, teaching you step by step how to meditate. So I used what I've learned there in order to equip me to meditate, and also added my own things, my spiritual and my faith, to that meditation method. Another amazing quest, if you would like to focus on personal growth and your relationships and your communication, is a quest, Speak and Inspire by Lisa Nichols, specifically public speaking as well. Another amazing quest is Uncompromised Life by Marissa Peer, also within Mindvalley. And all of these are within the Mindvalley membership. So just for you to have in the back of your mind, you will not be left alone when you decide where to start. And tomorrow we are going to go through very practical things that you can start implementing. So rest assured, you will have a set of things that you would like to do and that you can do as soon as our challenge is done. But these are a few things on the side that can help you depending on the life area that you want to focus on. So I'm going to do a little Q&A afterwards. Well, in a few minutes. I see that there are a few questions in the Q&A box, but I'm going to do a Q&A. But before I do the Q&A, and before we actually give over the Mindvalley prize for today, let's do a quick debrief. What stood out for you today? What have you realized today? I'd love to do a quick debrief and then go into the Q&A session. Faz says the wheel, my direction, not giving up, reverse engineering, that my goals are possible, specific versus general self-confidence, to take care of my mind, clarity of where I'm going, time traveling, the different types of self-confidence. Okay, so I'm so happy to see that. I love seeing how these different things that I'm taking you through comes together and builds on top of one another. And I hope you can find that valuable as well, where tomorrow we are going to go straight in to the 4 sources of self-confidence and how practically you can go about rebuilding your confidence in a specific area. So before I go into the Q&A box, I want you to, as homework today, make sure, if you haven't completed your self-confidence wheel, complete your self-confidence wheel and just start reflecting on what area you think will be most valuable for you to start working on first. 1 or 2 life areas for you to start working on first, because tomorrow when we go through the 4 sources, I want you to specifically keep these areas in mind. Okay, so I'm going to go into the Q&A, and most of these questions, or some of these questions, might have been answered during the session, but I'm going to go into Catty Lucier asking, is self-confidence context specific? Some people, including me, are confident in some areas of our lives, but none on others, and where to start. Exactly. I think, and I hope that you've had your question answered. Please let me know, Catty, in the chat box, whether you are feeling more comfortable with that question. Juanita is saying, I had a hiccup finding my soul print. Please help. Okay, Juanita, I'm going to keep this in mind. Let me just see if there are any other questions that I can answer without going live to someone. And then if we have some time left, we can go live with Juanita. Can we get the assessment questions for each category, please? Okay, so what I will do is I will take a picture of my book, because these are the questions, and I'll post that on the Facebook group. Anushka, will that be valuable for you? I'll do that straight after the live. How do we come to a conclusion of where we are when we are low in so many areas? How am I going to work on it all? So, Rajata, that is exactly why I developed the self-confidence wheel, in order for you to start at a specific space in one of the areas where you feel might be most valuable, might be most achievable and measurable for you to work on. And the lovely thing about the relationship between general and specific self-confidence is that when you focus on that area first, you're going to make it bite-sized. You're going to focus on that only and forget the rest for now. But as your confidence increases in that specific area, it's going to increase your general self-confidence as well. And as your general self-confidence increases, it will give you that fire within to actually focus on more specific areas. So I hope that you will find peace and rest in the process that we are going through now. I see someone is asking what's the name of the book. So it's called Rediscover Your Self-Confidence, 7 Steps to a New You. It's my book that I released last year. A lot of disparity for me in my wheel, how to equalize. So you will find that there are areas in your life that are, so when I started out, there were 3 main areas where I had a lack of confidence specifically in. And as I started to build up those areas, my general confidence increased. And as my general self-confidence increased, some of the confidence, specific self-confidence actually increased without me even having to work on it. So let's say at varsity, when I was struggling with what I wanted to do with my life, when I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, my business and career confidence increased. And as that increased, my confidence in my money and finances increased as well. So a lot of these specific self-confidences are complementary to one another. They are not competing. Most of them are not competing. When you reach your level of confidence in the one, it complements the other most of the times. So I hope that you could see that. I would rate this wheel differently on any given day. How to compensate for that? That is where tomorrow will come in. And that is why you will see that I did not go into exactly telling you this is how you develop your confidence, because then you'll develop it and tomorrow something else will impact that again. And that would change. So that is why I'm taking you through this process, for you to be able to have the tools to go through this process again if you deem it necessary. So tomorrow we're going to go into the 4 sources of self-confidence. And these sources are ever-changing. Things like reaching goals, not reaching goals, what people tell you, what you tell yourself, what's happening in the world. There are so many things that impact our self-confidence. And that is why when you reach your ideal level of self-confidence, you can't just stop. It's almost like fitness. When you say you want to run 10 kilometers in less than 60 minutes and you reach that goal, do you think you can stop because you now reached your fitness goal? No, it's a constant work. It's something that you continuously work at. And that's the same for your confidence. It's a skill that you continuously need to develop, because there are so many things impacting this. Relationships, something happening in a specific relationships. So that's why I'm giving you the tools to actually be able to do this yourself. I see Yvonne also said, secondly, I feel confident in having fun, but I realize I haven't been having enough of it lately. Does that factor in? Absolutely. If you feel, and obviously you go through different phases of your life, you go through areas or a month or two where you prioritize your work or you prioritize your family or a specific relationship, and then some of the other areas will be in the background. But if that's a choice for you, usually that does not impact your confidence too vividly. But if it does, make sure to make some time for fun if you think that that could increase your general self-confidence as well. Mimi is asking, Rolene, do you still have insecurities? Of course I do. Of course, I still have insecurities, but the way I see those insecurities have changed. My perceptions of those insecurities have changed. So there are certain physical things that I'm still insecure about, specifically when it comes to my skin. I get after the birth of my youngest son, about 2 years ago, I've been getting breakouts every now and then, and that really impacts the way I feel. And I know this is very superficial and your skin and my skin impacts me, but it is what it is. So I still have insecurities. When it comes to me starting a new business, I've recently started various new businesses. And in the beginning, I felt really insecure in my own ability to do what I want to do. And I see this insecurity as maybe an opportunity to grow, to acquire certain skills in a practical way and building my confidence in that sense. Or sometimes I see the insecurity as this is not aligned with my values, so I'm actually not moving forward with this business idea. This is not aligned with my soul print. So yes, I have insecurities. It comes and it goes, but the way I act towards them and react towards them differ. Let me move down to some of the last questions. Francia, how often should we do the wheel? It depends from person to person. So I think that once you decide to choose something and perhaps decide to work on it for 2 weeks, I see my clients on a 2-weekly basis. And we usually check in every 2 weeks to see where am I when it comes to my confidence, to my wheel, what improved, some of them actually decreased, what happened, why was that the reason. So if you're really committed, I would try to do this every 2 weeks and you will get to know yourself. If you sense that there's something that happened, you can redo your wheel and take it from there. Okay, I see that we are actually 2 minutes over 7. So Bianca, I think that this is probably my cue for you to do the giveaway. I'll be answering some more questions tomorrow. So yes, thank you very much for all of your questions.
This has been an incredible session, Rolene, full of meaning and content. And I have a deep feeling that I'm going to be taking this information further with me in life that are going to serve the way that I'm feeling and also taking action towards greatness. So thank you so much, Rolene. I just added my spotlight again. Okay, guys, do you know what's next right now? I also saw some people asking in the chat for the recordings. I just posted right now in the chat the link for the Facebook group. That's the place where you can see the recordings of the sessions. And right now we're moving towards getting the first prize to you guys. So announcing the first winner of the Mindvalley membership, the person is Cassandra Armstrong. I've been searching for her in the chat through the attendees. I couldn't find her. Maybe she's watching us through Instagram, not Instagram, I'm sorry, Facebook or YouTube. So Cassandra, congratulations for the prize and for taking action towards greatness. This was just the first prize, guys, and I'm so excited for the next 2 days. I'm watching the comments. People are so excited. Yes.
So Bianca, did Cassandra win a Mindvalley membership, or what did she?
The Mindvalley membership. So Cassandra is winning the Mindvalley membership, and we will be contacting her immediately.
Lovely. So Cassandra, just a bit of tips for you. Hopefully you have your confidence wheel, you have a certain area that you want to focus on, and then actually go through the quests. It's so exciting. Go through the quest and pick a quest that you would like to do that is aligned with your soul print, with what you want to achieve, but also with the area that you would like to focus on. So I'm super excited for you.
We're all excited, and I'm so happy for Cassandra. And guess what, guys? We have 2 more prizes in the next 2 days. So stay close to us, take action, and be active in the Facebook group. I posted the link in the chat. My friends, I guess this was it for today. Rolene, you were amazing again. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence. See you tomorrow at the same hour. Don't forget to take action, and have a wonderful morning or evening wherever you are in the world. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Remember to do your self-confidence wheels. Bye.
Bye.